Today we will hear from a woman named Janie, with a fusion between two races, white and black. Both her mother and her grandmother have been raped by white men. Worried the same would happen to Janie, her grandmother marries Janie off to an unaffectionate man who threatens to kill his new wife. Janie then leaves this husband for a younger, more confident man named Joe Stark. Yet she got nothing from him, except what money could buy. In her third marriage, Janie finally finds short-lived happiness in her husband, TK. Janie's story is reminiscent of the words her grandmother told her. Colored folks is branches without roots, and that makes things come out round in queer ways. Janie, in particular. We will have the famous American sociologist Fayette A.V. McKenzie discuss the cultural behaviors and racism that influenced Janie's life. Welcome back. Here I have with me the lovely Janie Crawford.
Why, thank you, doctor.
So tell me, Janie, you are 3/4 Caucasian.
Yes, I am.
Now tell me how it is living in the black community.
Well, to be honest, I was with them white children so much till I didn't know I wasn't white, till I was about 6 years old. Wouldn't have found out until then, but a man came looking, taking pictures. There was a real dark little girl with long, standing hair by Eleanor. That's what I realized was I was supposed to be, but I couldn't recognize that dark chili as me. Doctor.
Well then, that's very interesting, Janie. Very interesting.
Why, thank you. I was treated different by other blacks because I had certain features. My hair grew long and straight, but today it's kind of messed up. It kind of, I decided to do something interesting with my hair. Can you see stuff?
Oh, yes, I can.
Oh, thank you. Don't touch it. It's not for you to touch.
Okay.
Thank you, doctor. A woman in the Everglades, Mrs. Turner, felt I should have been with TK because he was so dark. She don't know what she talking about. Because she was proud of her distant white heritage or something. She told me, I don't blame the white folks from hating him because he can't stand it. I can't stand myself. Another thing, I hate to see folks like me and you mixed up with them. Us out of class off. Mrs. Turner was real funny for her racist views against her own race. She don't know what she talking about yet again. Mrs. Turner also was real funny looking. TK claimed that she had been shaped by a cow kicking her from behind, which was really funny, doctor. Am I right?
Right.
But she was real proud of her white features.
I see. Now, Janie, you mentioned your third husband quite a few times now. Can you please tell the audience about your previous failed marriages?
Well, if I do say so myself, let's just say that I know now that marriage didn't make love. That's what my first husband taught me, Logan Killix. Taught me, no sir. Joe there was my second husband, also taught me marriage and love ain't the same.
Well, that's absolutely terrible, Janie.
I thank you, doctor. I can tell you care very much.
Oh, I do. Now, after a quick commercial break, we'll be talking to the famous sociologist Fayette Avery McKenzie and Janie about how Janie's experiences have affected her and connect them to racism and society itself. Action. Well, welcome to the show, Mr. Fayette, the president of Fisk University in Nashville, Tennessee.
Thank you for having me.
So, Janie just told me and the audience a little bit about her having white features in the African American community and how it affected her. Now, were Mrs. Turner's views common during the Harlem Renaissance? I mean, because I thought that this was a time where African Americans were embracing their identity and their pride in the race. For example, the Back to Africa movement.
The black community has memories of slavery, white supremacy in their mind, constant harassment and segregation from the white community even after the adoption of the 13th Amendment. This cultural brainwashing could very well be the cause for Mrs. Turner's prejudices. Her and Jenny most resemble the dominant group, that being the white community. Also, just like the tensions between Western European immigrants and Eastern European immigrants, the blacks also had their prejudices against minority groups amongst themselves. When the black immigrants, later titled West Indians, came from the Caribbean, the years preceding the Harlem Renaissance, African American attitudes and the new attitudes of the immigrants clashed.
You know what? That is very interesting. In what way did they clash?
Well, a major distinction between the African Americans and the West Indians were their family dynamics. The African American families were often separated due to slavery. The Black Americans were able to maintain a family unit by having a strong matriarch. This motherly figure kept the family together and worked alongside the rest of the family. West Indians tended to have a patriarchy-led family. A strong male figure would be in charge, and the women and children were just supposed to follow orders.
The West Indians sound a lot like Jody.
Why, yes, it does. The new Black immigrants were not characterized by the racism like the African Americans were. The West Indians focused more on separation based on social class. This is why West Indians, like Jody, tried to gain power and move up in the world. This merging of ideas in Harlem is what actually caused the Harlem Renaissance.
Why, thank you very much. Well, this seems to have all the time we have today, but make sure to tune in next week.